Alright guys, now it's time to do a SpeedoHealer. I've already done the rinky-dink stuff just because I'm running out of time here. The SpeedoHealer is sitting in the tail right now. You will see it when I'm done and when I'm programming it. The harness I have running along the left side of the bike, and it's sitting right in here. Alright, the harness, if you follow your speed sensor, which is down here, your speed sensor is right there. Follow the harness up and it'll take you here. First thing we're going to do, turn the ignition on real quick, put your bike in neutral, rotate the tire backwards hard a couple times, should register 2-3 miles an hour. You know it's working. Ignition off. Alright, the speed sensor coupler you are looking for is black. Why it's gotta be black? Because it is. It's right here. Beep, beep, beep. If you follow that harness from the sensor all the way up, you'll find this. Now we need to separate this, which is going to be fun in this cramped little space. Alright, the best way you're really going to do this, there's where the small pin is, or the small plug is going into the big plug, there's a little tooth at the top. You're just going to have to do your best in seeing it. You can honestly just reach in with your finger and lift up on it. And there it goes. Right there. I don't know if you can see that tooth right at the top. This one right there. I'm going to lift up on it. That little guy. So, once that's disconnected, turn the ignition back on. We're going to do the same speed test. Spin the wheel. It is registering 0. We know we have the right plug. Ignition off. The wire I had run through with the main loom over here, you can't see that. It's over there. So I ran it around that side of the bike. There's the harness. This is very, very simple. Little plug goes into the big plug. Make sure you take your time plugging these in. Connectors on these bikes are very thin, very small, and they can bend and break easily. Little plug. Little plug into the big plug. There it goes. Nice solid connections with both, I can feel it. And that's honestly it. There's not much more to install in this kit. So let's move on to the rear. Alright, so here we are at the back of the bike. The controller is facing towards the tail. I found a little section of plastic that I can sit on. It's actually perfect, the exact same size. Here's the rest of the harness. I'm going to pull a little bit of the slack out. I'm kind of happy with the slack I have up here. So this is enough. It's actually more than enough. This could almost be considered perfect. Now we're going to plug this in. Trying to get my bearings here. Clip at the top. Okay. So rotate this. I'm going to plug it in. There we go. Wow, that is perfect. God damn, I'm good. Alright. It's plugged in. Okay. So we have power. It's running off the system's power. It doesn't take much. If you probably thought this was a bigger kit. I mean, look at my finger. This thing's tiny. I'm going to pull out my HealTech app. They do have an app, and I suggest using it more than their instructions or their website instructions. Because when you make your calculations on the HealTech app, it actually gives you step-by-step instructions right afterwards. Alright, so here's the app. Obviously, we don't have a GPS. Screw everything else. I'm tired. Estimated. Factory is 1643. So I'll fix this. 43. Current, I have gone -1 +2 like almost everybody and their mother on a 600. So I'm at 15. Oh, not 43, 45. This is where I'm at. Tire size, factory. I'm at 180, 55. If it was a 1000, you'd be at what it says here, 190, 50, 17. 55, 180. Just to make sure I'm not second guessing myself, I'll check the tire because it's right here below us, right? Yep, 180, 55, 17. So that's my factory sprockets. Trying to get this to focus. Let's turn down my light a little bit. There we go. So factory was 1643, current is 1545. Then we're 180, 55, 17. Factory and current wheel size. Calibration says minus 15.1%. You also want to select the option to compensate for factory error. So factory error, they're usually 6% off as is. That's why they started making these things. Generate. And there's my instructions. Awesome, huh? Okay. Obviously, the ignition has to turn on. Obviously, it lights up, it's working. I'll explain this extra connector in a minute. Press set repeatedly until the dash is blinking. So keep in mind, the instructions actually have the numbers of your results integrated into it. So you literally will follow this to the T. In my case, let's do this. Press both buttons on the unit until an L is indicated. That is an L. Press set repeatedly until the dash is blinking. Dash is blinking. Press select to proceed to the first digit. Select. That's my first digit. Press set repeatedly until a 1 is blinking. 1. Press select to proceed to the next digit. Select. Press set repeatedly until a 5 is blinking. Press select to proceed to the next digit. Press set repeatedly until a 1 is blinking. Press select to complete programming. You have now simply installed a Heeltech SpeedoHealer and programmed it. If I hadn't been filming this, it would literally have been 5 minutes. Now to explain that small little button thing. Actually, you know what? Let's first do this. Let's do a speed test. Spin the wheel. It registered. Everything's working. The SpeedoHealer is doing its job. Now to explain this little connector that they have after I turn my ignition off. There we go, done. They give you an extra harness. And in this harness, there's that little connector. And on the end, a little red button. This little button's pretty neat. It's kind of cool that they integrated it. I'll probably just plug it in and leave it in here. I'm not going to really route it yet. I don't really want to route it anywhere. It's not that important to me. What this is top speed recall. Almost like an odometer tachometer. The expensive ones used in drag racing. They have a memory feature that will show you where the highest red line was. This will show you your highest top speed and display it on your dash. So cool little feature that. In other words, congratulations, you just had the easiest electronic installation on Earth on your own motorcycle. One more little thing. And don't forget to make sure this is actually working properly. It has a built-in test mode. Hold select. Turn your ignition on. Release. You have a T for test mode. They don't really give you a definitive number, but your speedo should be indicating something other than 0. Also, if you spin your rear wheel, see? It's reading the teeth. on the speedo wheel. It's blinking. Click, click, click. So it's good to go. Hit select again to exit test mode. It'll display your programmed values. 1, 5, 1, 15.1%. We're awesome. Ignition off. Button up your shit and go ride.
Jump!